Hello everyone, I'm Priyanka Parkash, jewelry editor at Vogue India. Welcome to a wonderful session for Vogue and the National Diamond Council's Diamond Festival. Diamond jewelry can be many things: the perfect accessory, a great investment, sentimental, or a piece of history in the form of a gorgeous family heirloom. The relationship one has with their collections or even with a certain piece of jewelry is extremely personal. And joining us today to talk about this very relationship is one of the most talented and bankable actors in the country today. With many blockbusters and awards across industries to her name, she has effortlessly earned the tag of a pan-Indian star. Please welcome Aditi Rao Hydari. Hi Aditi, thank you so much for joining us today.
Hi PP.
Hi, thank you so much for being a part of our Diamond Festival. We're so excited to have you here.
Happy to be here.
I am going to start right from the beginning. Do you have a first jewelry memory or a memory you kind of go back to as the first time you had an experience with fine jewelry and diamond jewelry?
I think I've always really loved jewelry, and I don't know whether maybe I was just lucky because I had a lot of access to it, because and the place that I had access to it was my grandmother's house in Hyderabad. My mother didn't wear a lot of jewelry, though she loved it, but we lived in Delhi, so that it's not too safe to roam around with a lot of jewelry in Delhi.
I can imagine.
But in Hyderabad, a lot of people in the family, they wore very, very beautiful jewelry, and Hyderabad jewelry is very beautiful because it's a lovely mix of different kinds of jewelry. And my grandmother I don't know, she was really chill, because she literally let me play with jewelry. I don't think she had a lot of she wasn't very this thing of, oh, it's precious, and she didn't have a thing with things, she wasn't very materialistic. And she never locked things away. She was around me when she gave me stuff to wear, but she did. I used to roam around with like things on my head, and my grandmother used to get like little child wala sari made for me, and I would wear that, and I would dress up, and I'd literally play dress up every day of my summer holidays. And I would be sent to other people, like sort of older cousins' homes, and they would treat me like a little doll and like dress me up and then send me back home. So all this happened to me in Hyderabad in my summer holidays, and trust me, it was a lot of fun. So I think my love for jewelry started very young.
No, so that's great, because you've literally grown up with it and it's just kind of inherent to just constantly be wearing it. But speaking of your grandmom, is there something in particular you inherited from her that she wore a lot that you love and wear differently?
There was a piece that my grandfather gave me, which I talk about every time somebody asks me if there's a piece that's very special to me, because that's very special. That piece belonged to my great-grandmother from my maternal grandfather's side. It's very complicated. And I think it was a larger piece of jewelry, like, one of those satlarat kind of things, because my grandfather made it into smaller pieces and gave each one of us a tiny piece of that, because it belonged to her, and it was something that was given to her when she was really young. And so it was given to me when I was, I think, 12 or 13, and I still love it, and I wear it like so I've worn it when I was a teenager and when I went to dance concerts and all, because it was simple and it was pretty and it was very wearable and it wasn't flashy. And then now I can wear it with anything. I can wear it with a shirt, I can wear it with a turtleneck. It's really pretty, and it's got bust up pearls and polkis and cut ruby.
How beautiful!
It's pretty, yeah. It's simple, but it's pretty.
That's the point of jewelry, I think, especially our generation is buying. Stuff that's more wearable, something that you don't just put at the back of a closet, for all of eternity.
Yeah, absolutely.
Is that how you... That's exactly... So, is that how you buy for yourself when you buy? Or do you lean towards more... It's like, I mean, if you're buying a piece for yourself, do you tend to lean towards something heavier, or do you also then tend to buy everyday jewelry?
I very rarely buy everyday fine jewelry, though now I'm wearing more towards it. because my everyday jewelry I leave around, you know. I'm not, I don't like I'll just sort of put it into my bag, or I need to remove it because I'm shooting, and I don't wear jewelry every day again. Like maximum I'll wear like hoops or whatever. So I have very simple everyday jewelry, but I have a few fine jewelry pieces for every day. But what I do tend to buy is older stuff, like so heavier pieces, or Jarao, or like Hyderabad. I tend to buy jewelry more in Hyderabad, and I've not been such a huge jewelry buyer, because I always feel like I love old jewelry, and then what my grandmother has or what my mother has is so beautiful, I'll never find that again. But in the lockdown, I don't know what came over me, and I did buy some jewelry.
No, it's crazy. Actually, the most of the jewelers I speak to say we've done the best business in lockdown, because everyone wants to feel good and happy, and
Isn't
jewelry
it?
kind of does that for you. Yes, they said it's amazing how much business we've actually done in the lockdown.
Yeah, I've never bought as much jewelry as I bought in the lockdown. It was all like older looking pieces, Jarao pieces, like current pools, Chan Balis, stuff like that. And I was just like, there's something wrong with me. I don't know what's going on. Why am I doing this? But I really enjoyed it. But I feel like everything that I tend to veer towards, whether it's carpets or I don't know, just furniture or things for the house, or I love beautiful things, but I like to use them. So I would never like lock up a piece of jewelry and, you know, only take it out for one particular occasion. I'd wear it, and I'd wear it like I wear it with a skirt and a shirt, or I'd wear it. I like to wear jewelry, and I like to use beautiful things. I don't like to lock them into cupboards, and that's something I learned from my mother. Because why should my everyday not be beautiful? You know, why should I only, why should I only enjoy special occasions? I want every day to be special and every day to be beautiful in these little ways. You know. So yeah, I enjoy my things and I use them, and I allow people to use them. Like my home is also not one of those homes where you're afraid to like sit or spill something. I'm like, okay, you spilled it, we'll clean it, it's fine, you know, whatever, it's okay.
100%.
Yeah.
Now, you said you bought a lot of jewelry during the lockdown. Is there a piece that you're still dying to buy that you've had your eye on, or did you buy it already? And what was it?
I bought it.
You bought it.
And then after that, I didn't step into the store because I was just like, enough. Because if I step into the store, I'll find something else that I want, then I'll make some nice little excuse in my head, and I'll be like, oh, this is happening, so let me just buy. So I was like, I'm not going. Enough. I bought like some, I don't know, I bought lots of things. I think for the year, I'm done.
For the year, you're done. Especially, I think, considering we've got, fewer events, which is the saddest part, because we're trying to show off this beautiful diamond jewelry we're buying, and there's just no opportunity to do it.
Yeah.
When you do buy your jewelry, do you customize it, or do you usually buy it off the rack? And what does it take for you to fall in love with a piece of jewelry? Like, what is that it factor it's got to have?
It's immediate. It's like love at first sight. So I see something, and there's something about, there are 18 million kinds of Chandbalis, but I guess everybody's eye sees everybody has a particular kind of aesthetic, right? And I think that's just inherent, or it's intuitive, or whatever it is. So for me, it's the balance of all the pieces. It's sometimes very crowded pieces I may not veer towards, but like very empty pieces also. It's like a lovely balance that certain pieces of jewelry have, and I can't explain it. So it's like, for me, it's an immediate thing. I see it and I'm like, oh my god, that's so beautiful. And it doesn't even matter if it's old or new or whatever it is. If it's made beautifully, then, and I think for me, craftsmanship is also important. It has to be made beautifully, and the back of the jewelry is really important to me too, because okay, like the front looks beautiful, but the back also has to be really beautifully made. And for me, that is luxury, it's the lining of the clothes, the back of the jewelry, the way the screw is made, the way that the clasp is made, and the way the little latkans, especially of old like Jarao kind of jewelry, the way it's tied onto the main piece. and the balance of the jewelry, like sometimes you'll find it a little off, you know. I don't like that. I want it to like,
it has to sit properly.
Yeah, it has to sit properly. It also should sit properly on the ear, you know. So
100%.
there are these little things, and I don't know, I don't know, I just like, it's a natural thing for me to look at all this. I can't shut it out of my head. And I get a lot of jewelry to wear, you know, even for events and all, people sell jewelry, you know.
Of course.
But like for me, I'm very clear about what I would, like, there are certain people I would buy from and there are certain people I wouldn't buy.
What is your favorite jewelry silhouette that you were talking about, you know, just that it sits properly, but when you think about a jewelry silhouette that's quintessentially Indian, like the mangtika, the jhumka, the heartful, what do you think is your favorite out of all of them?
So the mangtika is something that, if like, especially for a big occasion like a wedding or something like that, I could possibly do without every piece of jewelry, but for me the mangtika is the most beautiful. It frames the face, and you know, I learned classical dance as a child, and until I moved to Bombay to become an actor, I danced, and I always you know, there's stories that you tell children when you're there dancing, and maybe they still hold true for me, where they say that the universe is the head, and so all the jewelry that goes on the head, it signifies the universe. So there's the sun and the moon, and then and then there's another piece that you wear at the back, especially in South Indian jewelry. So that is the universe. So I find that so beautiful that when I think of the mangtika and all the jewelry that goes on the head, it that's what it means to me. So I feel more special.
That's beautiful. I mean, that's a beautiful thought just to have.
It's
you've worn so much jewelry in so many movies. Do you think there was ever a movie where the diamond jewelry in it was so inherently part of the character, and that it literally kind of merged into the character?
Padmavat, where the jewelry was really beautiful, and it was the character, because it was also made like that, you know. So I would say that film. Up till now, that film.
And when it comes to diamonds and natural diamonds, what do you think diamonds symbolize for you? And I mean, if you think about even a piece of jewelry that again comes down from generation to generation, so many times a stone has that sentiment attached to it.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, like stones have memories, you know, and they have memories of people and a particular time and history, which is why like old stones are so beautiful, and people keep looking for those, you know, special old stones. And I think diamonds, whether cut or uncut, they're very eternal. And now those words have been used with diamonds so often. You know, there's so many of these words that get associated with diamonds, but they are truly timeless, because I think also because of the way that they never lose their like they always sparkle. You'll always, and you see a beautiful diamond and your eye immediately goes to it. And quite often I feel you know, there's a thing of it almost makes you glow, because it's like having a ring light around you. So I feel diamonds are like that, and beautiful, like good diamonds, beautiful diamonds are like that. And when they're set beautifully, they're just exquisite. They're so exquisite and so timeless. And those are diamonds that can literally be passed on from generation to generation, and they become more and more precious. More
because then they get stories attached to it as they go. No, exactly like you told me about your granddad breaking that one piece into many. That's you when you pass that on to your kids, you're going to tell them that story also. And that's just how precious jewelry is.
Like it's my great grandmother's, and that history, and when she got it, and then what my grandfather did, and it's very special, really special.
Do you have a person? I mean, it could be someone from the past, someone from the present, wears their jewelry anyway, that's been an inspiration to you?
So I think the person who I was always mesmerized by as a child was my bua. She wore a lot of silver, and I remember she had these huge layers and layers of kadas and like different not a set of silver jewelry. It was all mix and match jewelry, and then she wore rings and things around her neck, and she had this short salt and pepper hair, and she was really skinny, and she wore jeans and quite often a white shirt, and she was super cool. And she wore all this jewelry.
She sounds super cool.
And it was so like whimsical and eclectic, and it was really cool. So, and even as a child, I would always play with all her 18 million bangles, and you know, and today, like at that time, nobody was mixing and matching like that, but she used to do it. Yeah, she was quite like cool and bohemian and artistic and very cool.
No,
so
I
remember
love that. And even mixing fine and fashion jewelry, that's so much fun also. I mean, there are just no rules anymore.
That. Yeah, I love that.
Yeah, there's so many, like, I mean, so many of my friends are doing it now. They're wearing those colored beads and then like a literal diamond tennis necklace. It just makes
so
everything
pretty.
cooler.
Yeah, really. And also mixed metal, which was so like no at one point. It's like you're wearing gold, so you must only wear gold, and I'm half South Indian, so like gold is a big deal, and it's sacred, you know, if for South Indians. And now it's like we can wear any metal with anything and any kind of jewelry with any kind of jewelry. It's so much fun.
Absolutely. No, the rules have just gone out the window in a great way.
Yeah.
And anyone can do what they want, and nothing is wrong anymore. Like you said, if I wear rose gold with yellow gold, no one say, "Oh, why are you mixing your metals?" That's absolutely right.
Yeah, and also layering, PP. Like I love layering jewelry. It just makes it so much more. Like I love that. Oh, I just like planned it up like this. I didn't plan it, so it has that vibe, and I really enjoy that vibe.
The cool girl, vibe. Like your bua. The last question I have to ask you is, how do you think your relationship with jewelry has evolved from when you were 12 and wearing it to now? What is your relationship with it, and how has it evolved from then to now?
It's completely changed, because even though I had access to jewelry and it wasn't oh my god, it must be, oh be careful, you'll break it, oh this will happen, I always learned to be careful with it, because it was like they trusted me with jewelry and wearing it. But at that time, it was obviously, I learned from what I saw, right? So I learned from my aunts or my grandmother, whoever was around me, and however cool they were and however chill they were about the things that they wore, with the ease in which with which they wore them, I still inherited that whole the culture and history of the jewelry that I was handed to wear at a wedding that I went to as a little girl, you know, with my grandparents or mother or whoever. So if it was, you know, I like whether I wore a salwar kameez or a sari, which I loved wearing even as a little girl because I used to dance, it would be traditional. Then I would have traditional jewelry to go with it, and I would wear it in a traditional way. So if like today I fight that so much. I'm like, so why should I have to wear earrings and a necklace and bangles and this and that? No, I only wear one thing. You know. But at that time I wore it. I wore a little necklace and I wore bangles and I wore little earrings or whatever it was, and usually it kind of belonged, you know, though that wasn't a rule in my home. My mother would always say, so what if it doesn't match? So what? It looks beautiful. And my mother was one of those, you know, like I was telling even Sabya recently, that my mother was one of those who used to wear totally mismatched blouses with some other handloom sari. And when she used to come to boarding school, it was so cool. But at that point, I would be like, oh my god, you match your saris and blouses. All the other mothers do it. And she used to wear some whacked out blouse with a whacked out sari. So though I did grow up with that kind of sort of aesthetic, it was the intent, at least from my end, maybe because I saw all these people doing crazy things, the intent from my end was to match it and be proper, you know. But now I'm exactly like them, like my mom and my bua, And also the way that the fashion world is now, and the way that we all use our jewelry and our clothes, you know, it's that's how it is. And I feel like that's where I belong, and I'm happiest there. So I mix and match my jewelry. I never buy jewelry in sets. I buy them as separate pieces. I don't wear jewelry as sets. Forget buying them. I'll only wear earrings or a necklace, or I'll layer the necklaces, like you said, or I'll mix up metals, or yeah. So I think that's how it's changed. Also, it's not about wearing that kind of jewelry just with traditional clothes. I can wear jhumkas with chanbalis with a shirt, or a lovely old Jadao choker with a shirt, or a polo neck, a turtleneck, or yeah.
No, and if you really think about it, your mom and Bua were way ahead of their time.
They were seriously cool.
That's what's cool now. I mean, now it's an art, you know, to be able to mix and match.
Yeah,
things that don't go together is actually tougher than finding
stuff.
Something that matches together and then pulling it off. It is an art, and I think they were way ahead of their time, which is so cool, and that's what you grew up being inspired by.
Yeah, I don't think I valued it then, but I value it now.
Do we ever value things that we're supposed to? Never. That's fine. Aditi, thank you so much for talking to us today. Everything you said was so lovely and insightful. Thank you so much.
Thank you, PP. Thank you. Really nice chatting with you, and really nice to see you after so long.